But anyway, somebody sent them some money and helped them do that. They've got that fixed, so now they can continue to reach people. Hopefully it'll run for another 100,000 or so. Their seventh missions conference, he said, we had a young man from Honduras who's going to be going to Equatorial Guinea as a missionary. His name's Brother Isaac Amaya. He's a blessing to our congregation, and on top of our faith promise increasing for this year, and many decisions made in areas of evangelism and service, the big news was on the last day when we asked the people who were willing to stand and say, I want to do more for the Lord, I want to get more involved, but there were also 20 people who responded publicly. But then since I knew we have had several who the Lord had recently been dealing with about missions and so forth, he asked for a show of hands or for those come forward who were interested in long-time service, that's as a missionary, and 9 young folks came forward to say they want to commit their lives to that. So that's good news from Aruba, and I'm sure Pastor has a copy of this. If not, we'll get that posted. And what else do we have here? Okay. How many times did you end vote? Yes.
I just want to say, I was got a text from Pastor Armacost, missionary to Myanmar, and they did fly over there. They are safe. They may have even found an apartment already. So just continue to pray for them.
I believe I was crying, right?
Oh, he was bawling.
Yeah. So they're out there. They're in the land. Burma, right?
Yes.
We a lot of times we think of Burma because of the old missionary biographies, but Myanmar is what it is. Pray for them. Do you know how many, what the portion of the population is? It's like Mormon, not Mormon, but Muslim or Hindu? Or,
I have no idea. I know there's a big military coup right now.
Yeah.
And it's very unsafe. So, but that's.
Is it the one? No, it's Indonesia, isn't it, where they revolted over they were stopping the use of fertilizer by the farmers, and I think that's Indonesia. I don't know. Anyway, you go online and check it. Wikipedia is the source of all intellectual information. Just realize when you go to Wikipedia that you have to double check a lot of things that are there. It was sort of interesting this past week that a statement was made, and Snopes came up and said, "Oh, that's not true," and they had to backtrack on it. So you can't count on Snopes. I don't know how many are familiar with that, but a lot of people say, "Well, somebody just posted this. Is it true?" They'll go to Snopes to check. Snopes is left-leaning, just like ChatGPT, just like all the rest of the AIs that are out there are pretty left-leaning. So be careful with that kind of stuff. But here's a pastor's feedback from the Way of Life Bible College. Now, I don't know how many of you read this online at thewayoflife.org or if you get from David Cloud, but they started an online college basically through Way of Life. And one of the courses is Mastering the Bible. And so you go online, you can purchase the material, and you can have your stuff graded. You can have people tell you what they think, but you have a chance to really get yourself in depth into the Word of God. Some folks have no problem. They can do that on their own. They can go through and study. They have good habits about doing that. But if you don't, it's a good chance to say, well, I'm going to stay out. Doesn't matter how old you are. But you can still do it. But they have more than that. They have many, many other courses online. Maybe because of the way it is Israel today, there's one called Jews and Jet Planes. And I happen to have that one. That's an interesting one because it talks about Israel from the beginning until today. And of course, they're right at the top of prophecy. Prophecy is all about Israel, what's going to happen with them. But anyway, there's a little article here about that in the college. Here's another interesting one, treason of intellectuals. Intellectual, though, by the way, is sort of a term that shouldn't probably be used because how are we intellectual, Just because you went to college and got a PhD doesn't mean you're an intellectual person. Anybody who's been following Harvard knows that that's not true. That